What is the value of a meeting like this? What do you gain by coming to a meeting if you're about to lose your job? You're not sure what your package is going to be, your redundancy package, your pension. Do you gain by coming to a meeting like this? And I just want to develop that briefly. I met somebody on the march last Saturday week, and I got the same question. Is it worthwhile marching? Is there anybody listening? And the answer is more or less the same. If you don't march, if you don't come to the meetings, if you don't put pressure on people like me as a county councillor, on your senators, on your TDs, and on the ministers, then you're giving up and you're accepting what you regard as the inevitable. Nothing is inevitable until it has happened. SR Technics has huge credibility throughout North County Dublin. On the Thursday when I got a call from Ray, I can't remember exactly who got the call from, say that it was announced that you were going to close. We had a county council meeting, and I was chairing the meeting at the time, and we stopped the meeting just to comment on what was happening. Everybody in the room, irrespective of what background they came from, whether they were management or workers or councillors, wanted to comment, wanted to offer support. And I think any pub I've been in, any club I've been in the last 2 or 3 weeks, on the march, that recognition of a high-end, highly valuable, extremely well-trained company is hugely valued throughout North County Dublin. I personally know about half the people in the room for the last 25 years, and I grew up with them, and so it's easy for me to feel involved in this. But it's just generally throughout North County Dublin. And you have to tap into that support and to that emotion if you are going to change anything. It is very, very difficult to win this battle purely on trade union issues alone. And very often trade unions, and I'm a trade unionist myself, we look for the best possible exit strategy if we feel that it's not going to happen. The political road is a parallel road, and you have to use it. And by putting pressure on me, what can I do at local government level? What I can do is every venue I will turn up at for the next, as long as the struggle goes on, I will mention SR Technics as a huge waste where you're putting high-end workers who are highly paid and pay high taxes and deliver hugely for this community. Keep the airport going, give it credibility. What are you going to do with those people? Put them on the dole so that you have to, instead of having a plus from their taxation, you now have a massive negative from paying dole bills. If something like this happened in France, the country would come to a halt. What they do is they stop trucks, they throw the lambs out on the road, they start fires. We have developed a sheep-like mentality when something happens. You should not be embarrassed about getting out there and stopping the traffic and stopping taxis and forcing people at local government level or at central government level to act on your behalf until the very thing is over and closed. And even if SR Technics do manage to pull out, you still have a fantastic facility up there. If that were to be started from a greenfield site with the kind of expertise, the site itself, the buildings and the experience that you have built up over the years, it would cost billions. For a very small investment and for a bit of goodwill from people like Aer Lingus, by the way, who should be targeted by the travelling public for taking their business elsewhere at the drop of a hat, knowing the consequences. And the other thing that you SR Technics people here tonight forget is what we've been fed for the last 3 or 4 weeks is information from newspapers, from right-wing commentators, from people who support the government who don't want to take hard decisions. And unless you come out and pass the facts on to us and to every other forum you can lay hands on, we're all fed with the same information. And they'll say the same about primary schools, and they'll say the same about all the other places they want to cut. There are ways and means of digging ourselves out of economic holes without thrashing about and damaging the economy and workers forever and a day. Hundreds of apprentices have been victimised, both in your area and in all the other areas in North County Dublin for the last 3 or 4 years. When they get to their 4th year apprenticeship, they are dropped and dumped. Why? Because it's a lot cheaper to bring somebody in as a first year and you don't have to pay them 4-year wages, and you know that within a year or 2 you're going to have to take them on. People are absolutely cynical when it comes to dealing with workers. And you are being dealt with very, very cynically. There are ways out of what you're doing, and it is up to the government to be proactive, to get stuck in. And take an example from the French and the others, who defend their workers and who defend their industries. We keep talking about high-end, highly motivated, highly trained technical people. That's the kind of service we have to offer from now on. No more low-end jobs. Well, here is the classic example, and so far I have seen no effort whatsoever from the government to try to protect it and offer it as an example of the way we look after our highly trained and our best people. We will certainly fight on your behalf. We need direction from you. If you tell me what I can do tomorrow or next week or in 6 months' time, I will certainly do it. We do not necessarily know at County Council level the ins and outs of the aviation industry. But if you stay in contact with us, and so far it has been excellent, I will pass the information on to, whether it's Joan Burton or Tommy Bruin or whoever can argue your case on the floor of the Dáil, and to every other forum that I come across. But we need your support to get us to work for you. It is not inevitable and it is not acceptable, or we don't accept it. Thank you.